the main segment, the main course, Spider-Verse. So we both saw the movie Across the Spider-Verse. What were your first thoughts?
It was really long.
It was
really long. I thought it was a good movie, but I felt like they got so excited on the animations. Like, animations were better than the first one, and I felt like they had so many scenes to add in there that it ended up, like, the dialogue of the movie ended up going too long, and like, spoiler warning, spoiler warning.
Cut the pod here. Come back later if you haven't seen it.
Yep. Spoiler. The scene closer to the end with Miles kind of running around and everyone's trying to chase after him. I felt like that went longer than it should have, and it just kind of dragged out. But it was really cool, all the scenes that they put together and all the animations and all the different spider people. But it just felt long to me. And I didn't know it was going to have a cliffhanger ending. So that also made me a little salty.
Yep. You summed it up perfectly for me. You summed it up perfectly. Like, so going into that first movie, Into the Spider-Verse, I had no expectations, had no idea what it was even about. And you go into the theater and you see this animation. It's like they took a comic book and put it on the big screen. It was really cool. And then also in that first movie, they had Sunflower, Post Malone song that got stuck in everybody's head, dude. That movie was really good. It felt like it had some emotion. It was a new story. It was also an origin story, which I'm a sucker for those with superheroes.
Yep.
But then this movie, Across the Spider-Verse, every single person I talked to, every review I read said, this movie's amazing. Oh my God, this is the great. Like, not only were they saying this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time, there were people saying this is the best movie of all time. So I went in with
I didn't hear that, but yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, there's people on Twitter who will say anything, but that was being said. And so I went into this movie with pretty high expectations.
Yeah.
And seriously, I wanted to walk out the whole time. We were 20 minutes into the movie and it felt like nothing had happened yet. And Julia and I, we were both like squirming in our chairs. We're like, oh my God, when is something going to happen? We were just really bored and contemplated walking out, but we stuck with it. And I kind of wish we didn't. Like, I know I'm in the minority here, but I thought that movie was so boring. All the stuff you did say about the animation, though, and the colors, all that is incredible. They're incredible at all that. But I just thought the story was really lacking. And then it ends with a cliffhanger. So after all of that, you don't even get a conclusion. I was really mad.
Yeah. And then they, at the end of the movie, they put in what the next one's going to be, Beyond the Spider-Verse. And looking online, after it's supposed to come out next spring of 2024, and then I feel like I got some notification a day or two ago that they're going to have to push it back even farther, and who knows when it's going to come out. So I feel like if we're waiting again, because the first one came out in 2018, and I know that they had been working on this film and the one Beyond the Spider-Verse coming out later, like kind of all together as far as the animation parts and whatnot, and that's why it took as long as it did. But I hope we're not waiting, forever for that. But we might be. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I think what else played into it for me was that it was another multiverse movie, and it just seems like every single movie, not even just superheroes, like just regular movies, are now multiverse movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am so burnt out on that. I'm so done. I feel pretty strongly about this, but yeah,
I know we've talked about it before.
yeah.
I'm for them personally. I'm still keeping together with the multiverse stuff, and I think it's going to end up becoming into something really good and really big. But I know I know Brennan's tired of
They're
it. Don't
so
do it.
they're just so dumb. I can't take it anymore. But yeah. Also, we got a special guest on this episode today.
Yes.
Special guest. Let me go get her. Bring her in. She'll give you her thoughts. One
Okay, let's
moment.
hear it. Hello, special guest.
Hold on, I gotta climb around out of the chair.
No surprise, it's Julia.
Surprise!
How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. Good, good.
Good. I'm excited to be a guest.
Enjoying the absolutely first guest of the Two Bros in a Pod.
Woo!
How about that?
I'm honored.
How's the engagement?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Does
Loving
your
it.
hand feel heavier?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so heavy with this rock.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. We were just talking about your video and all of the videos that you've got, but the engagement video and how cool that was that got put together, and all of the Brennan takeover behind the scenes cam, and and talking about the big ring in his pocket too, and the arrows pointing at it. That was great.
Yeah, thank you very much. It took a long time getting it just right, but it turned out so great, and I was very happy with it. And all the funny parts and the serious parts and everything, it turned out perfect.
Did you have any idea whatsoever that it was going to happen?
None. Absolutely zero idea that it was going to happen. I laugh about it because I was so oblivious that I usually am. I'm so oblivious to things, but I'm so glad I was oblivious in that moment because it would have ruined it. And I was so happy that I had no idea.
It was so cool. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was beyond
Brennan
perfect.
pulled it off.
He pulled it off. He did so well. Best proposal I could have ever imagined. More than I could have imagined. Man. So yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah. I guess I'll keep
that
him.
Was awesome. Yeah, right. Keep him around.
Yeah.
So talking about Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And the new movie that came out.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
It's an unpopular opinion, but I gotta agree with Brennan, even though I didn't hear exactly everything that he said on this podcast episode. Yep. Him and I have talked about it before, and yeah, I'm one of the people that just didn't like it.
Didn't grab you from the start.
It didn't. I mean, like 20 or 30 minutes in, I was still so bored, and I was like, are we gonna get to like the plot of the movie? Like, is something big gonna happen, or am I missing something? Like, it was a really slow beginning, and then it just lost me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was talking to Brennan about I feel like it was a long movie because they had so many really cool animations throughout, that they had so much length in that it was trying to figure out the dialogue that goes into all of it almost.
Yeah, exactly. It just took up too much.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like they tried to do a lot of things that were really cool with the animations, that it was like, oh yeah, we've got a plot still we got to go by. To. So
right. Yeah, I agree. But I think the only thing that I liked about it or had respect for was the art. That is the only thing that I can say is, I mean, the art was really cool, is incredible. And being someone who loves art and is passionate about that stuff, I know and can understand and imagine how long it took them to create all of that. And so I give them props for all of that. That was incredible. And it was definitely different. It was out of the box thinking. But aside from that, it just lost me. It was a little bit boring and just it just dragged a lot. And it didn't have much of a plot to it. It did, but didn't. I don't know. So it just kind of lost me. And even the villain of it didn't seem like a villain really to me. I was just kind of whatever, which bummed me out because I had high hopes.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, we touched on a little bit too of like I didn't know it was going to be a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, like what?
And
It was that long of a movie, and then they still have a cliffhanger. Like that was the last thing I expected.
Agreed, wholeheartedly. And yeah, I'm with you. Like I feel like we're supposed to know a little bit more about the villain, but we don't. And I feel like it's gonna clear up in the next one. But
yeah,
I was with you on that too. I'm like, what is he?
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
What's the angle?
I was like, am I horrible for thinking this? Because everyone's saying it's the greatest, and to me, I was like, no, this is the bottom of my list.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but yeah, it could have been better for sure.
Yeah. 100%. Now the first one I can give a lot of props to. That one I really liked. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was because it stuck to like the original kind of storyline, but with its own twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it still like had meat to it, to the plot. But this one, it just lost me compared to the first one. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, maybe the third one has a little bit of a redeeming grace to it. But you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. I hope so too. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
And then were you guys talking a bit about the live action Spider-Mans and stuff too?
Not yet, but we need to rank. She needs to rank her Spider-Man.
Do you want me to come back for that?
No.
Or do it right now?
What does Brennan think?
Do it right now. He said do it right now.
Do it now? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going just the live action Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
What's number 3?
Ooh,
or who is number 3?
It's hard because I feel like 2 and 3 are kind of close or tied, but I'll say 3 is Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
And these are all close. Like they're real close to each other. It's not like one is most definitely like really high and far above.
Yep.
Because they were all well done. But 2 is going to be the first like original Spider-Mans with Andrew Garfield. No, with Tobey Maguire.
So Tobey Maguire 2.
Yes, Tobey Maguire 2 and Andrew Garfield 1. And the only reason I have behind that is with Andrew Garfield's movies. I just like Andrew Garfield as an actor, and I really like Emma Stone. So those are a given.
Yes.
But
she played a really good Gwen Stacy.
She did such a good job, and I loved their chemistry. Like I don't know, I was really sucked into their Spider-Man movies and their plot, their relationship.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then with Tobey Maguire, I mean, incredible movies. Yes, I will still give it that, but the only thing is, for a typical Disney girly like me and like all the like, you know, sunshine rainbows type of movies that everyone makes fun of me for, yes, I love all of those. And so like those movies were a little bit too dark for me, at least at the time that I watched them. Now, granted, I haven't seen any of these movies in a long time, so I need to give them a shot again, and maybe my rankings would change. But right now, Tobey Maguire's 1. Shoot! Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Yeah, got it. So Tom Holland 3.
Yep.
Andrew Garfield is number 1. So Tobey Maguire 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. Final answer for right now.
I gotta. We need to touch back and make you sit down and watch all of them, and then see if your list changed or not. That'd be neat.
That'd be fun.
We might have to all do that.
That sounds good.
But good to see you, Julia. Thanks for catching up, and glad to hear that that left hand is a little heavy. Or is it the left or the right? I can't remember.
Left. Yeah. Thank you. Me too. Really have to do some workouts for the right arm because left arm is just really. But thank you very much for having me on the show and everything.
Absolutely.
All right. See you later.
See. So my hunch is that your list is going to be pretty similar to that one.
Yeah. Dude, she tried to take over the podcast there. She's like, you going to keep going? She's like, yeah. And honestly, I probably should have let her. The listeners probably would have enjoyed her more than me.
No, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. But yeah, my Spider-Man list.
Hold on. So
Ooh, I think it is.
So
different.
we're jumping right into it. We're jumping right into
so
the Spider-Man list, and then we'll go to the movies.
Yeah. So everybody stick around. We're going to rank our top 5 Spider-Man movies. There's 10 of them now. But yeah, first, let's rank our Spider-Men.
Yes. So, you want me to start it?
Yeah, go for it. Start with number 3.
Number 3. So, my 3, and it was tough, but my 3 is Tom Holland. You?
Yep, I agree. Number 3.
I think it was really close for me to put him at 1. It was really close. But I mean, like Julia was saying, everyone was really close, and it really wasn't it's not a set like 1, 2, 3, like definitive. It really can interchange, and everyone would be okay with it. So yeah, but I locked it in. Tom Holland's 3.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like he's got the worst movies. We'll get to the movies later. It's close. Andrew Garfield's movies are kind of rough too. But yeah, Tom Holland didn't really get the origin story. And like I said earlier, I'm a sucker for those. I think they're all good actors, but I just didn't like Holland's version because it's in the MCU, and all those movies are too based on humor. Like they revolve around humor too much. The latest movie for him, though, finally got some real emotion. And that's what I like. And like what Julia was saying, I like the darker stuff, not like her. So, but yeah, number 2 for you.
My 2 is Andrew Garfield.
Same. We have the same list.
What?
Yep.
I'm surprised. I honestly thought you had Andrew Garfield as 1.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to have him as 1.
I think it's just the nostalgia of like growing up with Tobey Maguire, and he's just got the best movies in my opinion. Those movies are awesome. Like Green Goblin, Doc Ock, like great villains, just amazing movies that were super dark, emotional. I don't know, something about them. It was very, very, very close though, because I do love Andrew Garfield as an actor. And like Julia was saying, him and Emma Stone together was perfect. Like that's what made those movies good, is their relationship. And yeah, that's why it was tough, but Tobey wins it.
Tobey. Yeah, I kind of went with my gut as far as just going in chronological order because, like you said, I mean, we grew up on Tobey Maguire. But I do really think Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I do like it. I like the humor of it. I do really like the dark stuff in Tobey Maguire's movies. But I also do like the funny humor that Tom Holland brings to his Spider-Man. And I was thinking about switching Tobey to 3 and Tom to 1, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, we would have had to fight if that was the case. No,
I felt like Andrew was locked in at 2. He was locked in for me.
He's the only one that didn't get a third movie to complete the trilogy. I just feel like the villains that he got in his movies weren't that great, and I don't know. It was pretty quick after the first original trilogy when they released that, so maybe that had something to do with it. Little fatigue from Spider-Man.
Yes.
But that's definitely why I'm not as high on Tom Holland's version, is because the fatigue. Like, this is the third Spider-Man already. And then all the MCU movies had happened before that, pretty much. Like, Tom Holland came in towards the tail end of like that main Avengers phase, but so maybe that's why the humor wasn't as funny to me anymore. But yeah. Interesting that we had the same ranking though.
I was surprised. I thought you would have. I know you really liked Andrew Garfield and still do, so I was surprised. I thought you would have Andrew at 1.
Yeah, it is very, very close. But
take it easy, Mountain Faith.